So TASS news agency is reporting that Israeli army reserves ordered to urgently prepare for combat operations in Gaza. So the Israeli political leadership, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has ordered the army to urgently prepare for combat operations in Gaza Strip. The Khan radio station reported, according to media outlet, the Palestinian movement Hamas is not interested in implementing a peace plan proposed by U.S. Special Presidential Envoy Steve Witkoff, while talks have come to an impasse. The Ynet news outlet reported on Friday that Israel's chief of their general staff, Yael Zamir, had approved the plan of a new offensive in the Palestine enclave. According to Ynet, the Jewish state expects tensions to escalate as Hamas is regrouping and reinforcing its defenses. Well, unfortunately, yet another my prediction may become true in upcoming days and weeks, which is that, well, I said straight away when this truce broke out between truce was achieved between Israel and the Gaza Strip, I said straight away that most likely Israel leadership will try to achieve a release of as many Israeli hostages as possible from Hamas captivity, and after that Netanyahu's government will use whatever excuse to restart their military operations, and this time Israeli forces probably will push all their Palestinians, or majority of the Palestinians, out of the Gaza Strip into Egypt. If war breaks out again, full-scale war, that's most likely what is going to happen. That's what is most likely in plans of Netanyahu, and I will argue this was a plan of Netanyahu and his government from the beginning. And if you remember, dear friends, when Israel started its military operation in the Gaza Strip, I said that probably Netanyahu's government intends to implement some sort of Karabakh scenario in the Gaza Strip. And what I meant by that is that Israel will force out vast majority of locals, or all of the locals, out of the region, as it happened in the Karabakh when Azerbaijani forces established control over that breakaway region that was for quite a while indirectly at least was controlled by Armenia. And I'm afraid that prediction in regards to Gaza Strip may become true also. And then there may be a second phase in the West Bank, and after that maybe even southern Lebanon, where, for example, Israel yesterday conducted airstrikes. According to reports, Israeli Defense Forces said it had attacked Hezbollah's military installations in southern Lebanon, where rocket launchers and the weapons were detected there. So, yes, first Israel will try to conduct ethnic cleansing in the Gaza Strip, then in the West Bank. From Gaza Strip, people will be forced into Egypt, from West Bank into Jordan, and then most likely Israel will try to occupy and force locals out from southern Lebanon. I hope my reading of the big picture is mistaken, but that's how I see. That's how I read the situation there. Meanwhile, clashes continue in Syria, in the coastal line areas of Syria, in Latakia province, and Al Jazeera reported that more than 50 Syrian security forces were killed in the clashes in this region. Although, by the way, there are so many heartbreaking, devastating videos on internet of the actions of these terrorist groups, pro-Turkish terrorist groups that are established their regime in Syria. They are exterminating ethnic and religious minorities in all around the Syria, by the way, especially in Latakia province. There's so many videos when dozens of people were executed. People are lying on the ground, killed people. They're intimidating, harassing civilians, killing civilians left and right. It's a horror. It's a hell what is happening right now in Syria, and unfortunately, these are inhuman elements. These terrorists, pro-Turkish terrorists, are being applauded by the West, isn't it? Western elites, and they are lifting sanctions on this terrorist regime in Damascus, and I mean, it's I don't know, man. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. The level of degradation of the European and the Western in general political classes is unbelievable. First of all, level of moral degradation, because they are now allying with these terrorists that are exterminating civilians in mass. It's crazy, man. It's crazy what is happening there. And I understand that locals have no option really but to take up arms, especially ethnic and religious minorities, to take up arms and fight against this terrorist regime in Damascus. And we are receiving reports that fighting continues in Kardak area of the Latakia province. And I guess there will be more and more hotspots on the Syrian map when people will take up arms and start fighting. For many, it is too late, but this is the only way. This is the only way people might try to defend themselves, at least. And I guess already majority of people in Syria already regretting that they did not fight against these terrorists when Assad was in power. Not a perfect regime, by the way, that Assad regime, with many flaws. I have quite a lot of criticism of Assad's regime, but at least they were not murdering civilians as this terrorist regime in Damascus does, man. Ethnic minorities, religious minorities, at least under the Assad's government. Syria, while being in extremely difficult situation, was still a secular country with a secular society, and now these extremist religious extremists and the terrorists are just making hell for people there. And this is done by Turkey. Israel obviously was involved in that and Western secret services. They were arming, isn't it? And training these terrorist groups. Hello everyone, if you find this video informative and interesting, please click that like button, leave some commentary and share with your friends. If you want to support my work, you can do it through several means. All the links are on this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. And if you want to have access to full show, please consider to subscribe to my Patreon and Boosty pages. Thank you.